As a brother, he was really quite remarkable, and I was thinking about he was always very protective, and a really remarkable brother actually. Petey had lots of friends, and I remember one of the funny things, our voices are very much alike, and people can't tell the difference from us when we're on the phone together. It was very amusing because Petey had a lot of girlfriends. And when they would call the house and he wasn't there and I answered the phone, they assumed that I was he. And so I used to carry on long conversations with these girls. And they had no idea what was going on. But he was I must say, he was a remarkably sweet, protective person all his life. And he was the one, I mean, he was always really looking after my interest.
After being in New York, studying singing and dancing and everything, I was invited to Birmingham just to a ball. And when I came, there was this gorgeous fella in a tuxedo who invited me to dance, and he couldn't dance. So we got to sit down and we got to meet and know each other better. And with a little champagne, I realized that that guy was something worth chasing, so I did. And that's how we got married. He has a mystique about him that I can't shake off. And I keep trying to, and here I am, he's 80, and I'm 70. And I still want to be his little servant girl. The children, oh, what a chore.
He was a great father, the best. You know, he was always supportive. He always made us feel good about ourselves. He encouraged our work. He was just a great dad. He and Caroline were, you know, incredible parents, and we had a good time. We had a good time growing up together.
When I think about like growing up with Pete, like as a dad, I think that I was so much luckier than almost everybody else because most people's dads were boring.
Wonderful father. He was fun, always adventurous, taking us on airplane flights to the Bahamas, and he always had fun cars. He was always sweet and kind and mellow and never angry, and that was nice because there was a lot to be angry about at our house with four women and only one bathroom upstairs.
You know what, Pete was like actually a dad you could talk to. You could actually have a conversation with him, and he listened, and he actually cared.
I mean, he let us sort of make our own mistakes and find our own way, and I think that helped all of us in the way we grew up.
And then as a couple, he and Caroline were fun. I mean, what else can you say other than they were playful, they were light, they were adventurous.
And Pete and Caroline were always going to, you know, fancy parties and dressing in tuxedos, and she was so beautiful and he was so handsome. We always sort of thought of them as this just really Camelot couple when we were growing up.
Yeah, I think that he had so much fun in his life, and he really liked to share it with us.
He was my saving grace. He was my best friend, and I think I was his only son. I used to help him wash the cars on Sundays. I learned to fly with him. We used to go fishing a little bit. He is wonderful. He continues to be wonderful, even at 80.
You know, OZ used to say Pete was kind and refined, and I think that sort of sums it up for him. He's just a great friend to everybody, a really wonderful person. Pete and I have been working together for 30 years. Papa Pete started the company 85 years ago, and Pete's an incredible business partner, mentor, teacher, and friend. He's been really wonderful to work with all these years, and we've done a lot of great things together. We've really helped change this city. We've taken old abandoned warehouse districts and created a design district. We've built restaurants, we've built office buildings, we've created a farmer's market. Our work in Birmingham has really changed the city center, and it's had a huge impact on what's gone on here. And a lot of that is because of Pete's, he's great at the big picture. So he's supported a lot of things when no one else would have done them. And we've gone in and taken on projects that people said could not be done, and he has been willing to take the risk when nobody else would have. And that's made a big difference in the way this company has operated for the last 30 years.
He's one of the sharpest people, business-wise, I think I've known. And very, very protective and very, very kind, but very, very fair and very, scrupulously honest. So I think he's a damn good businessman myself. He's made a lot of money. He's made me a lot of money.
And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me up on my pony, on my boat. Now if I were Roy Rogers, I'd sure enough be single. I couldn't bring myself to marry an old Dale. Will it just be me and Trevor? We'll go riding through them movies, then we buy a boat and on the sea we'll sail.
Can you believe we have been sailing more than 40 years? And the children were wonderful, and Pete was a good captain.
He loves his grandchildren like crazy, loves his grandkids. Pretty amazing.
And I see him more and more trying to share his wisdom and his experiences of life with them, which pleases me because he would be such a great influence. The time I spent with him on the sailboat was some of the best time of my life growing up, because I got to be with him in his essence and his joy of living, and I hope that my children pick up on that from him.
So they always made a real effort to spend time with George and Sophie, and I think that George and Sophie are so devoted to both Pete and Caroline. As a result, George, every single time he has a problem, if it is at 12:30 at night, if it's at 2 o'clock in the morning, Pete, I really need to talk to you. This is your grandson. I mean, really, that's a pretty cool thing.
Pete, on your 80th birthday, just so hard to believe, you don't look like you're 80, you don't act like you're 80, you don't behave like you're 80. I tell people that you fly, you sail your boat, you spend summers in Maine, you drive around in your cute convertible with your top down with your beautiful wife. You're not the typical 80-year-old. And so I think there are many years ahead for you, and I'm hoping they're all as full of joy, full of fun, full of adventure. And I love you so much.
Just great to see your spirit and your adventurous spirit and your enthusiasm for life and your great humor. And it's been a real joy and a real honor for me to be around that and to have experienced that. And thank you, because I love you. Thanks, Pete. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pete.
Happy birthday, Pete. Remember, you're not 80. You're entering your 9th decade.
Happy birthday, Pete. When are we going sailing next?
Happy birthday, Pete. 80 years, and you finally made it.
Happy birthday, Pete!
Happy birthday, Pete. Happy birthday, Pete. Happy birthday, Pete.
Happy 80th birthday, Pete.
Happy birthday, Pete.
Happy birthday to you. the children. Oh, what a chore.